Hello everybody, this is Phony Bob and you're welcome to race number 17 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the CIMIC 350 at Sandown International Raceway. It's time for the second race down under for the Skittles Cup Series. And, well, yesterday's race was, it was interesting, but not in the way that you might think. So, yesterday's race, was, of course, was it was more of a race of attrition, essentially. There wasn't much passing, but there was strategy, as you know, you had Matthew Brown, who won the race because you know, he had newer tires compared to the leaders who had older tires. So, one wonders, are we going to see the same thing in this race? Well, it's going to be interesting, and I am definitely looking forward to finding out. Now, of course, last weekend's race, though, for the Cup Series at Winton wasn't the best race in the world. Well, that race was also a bit of a race of strategy, so it's going to be interesting to see if this race turns out to be a race of strategy, and the chances of happening are quite likely. So, with that being said, how about we give you the starting grid for this race and see what happens. So, starting the pole for this one is Matt DeBenedetto. Starting the pole for this one is Matt DeBenedetto on Simon. Second is Cole Custer. Third is Eric Jones. Fourth is Rebecca. Fifth is Bank Coaches. Sixth is Oliver. Seventh is Purser. Eighth is Danger Six. Ninth is Martin Shear. 10th is Nia. 11th is Kyle Larson. 12th is Alex Bowen. 13th is Kevin Harvick. 14th is Chris Buescher. 15th is Richard. 16th is Douglas. 17th is Point Bobbin. 18th is Duck. 19th is Rick Spock Nerd. 20th is Ryan Priest. 21st is Kyle Busch. 22nd is Christian Bob. 23rd is Brad Keselowski. 24th is Eric NROL. 25th is Tim Tom. 26th is Ricky Sr. 27th is Chase Elliott, 28th is Clint Boyer, 29th is Danny Hamlin, 30th is Donald, 31st is Wilson David, 32nd is Bob Walsh, 33rd is Tyler Reddick, 34th is Julie Gallon, 35th is Ryan Blaine, 36th is Kurt Busch, 37th is Ryan Newman, 38th is Jimmy Johnson, 39th is Austin Dillon, and 40th is William Byron. Not sure William Byron's all the way back here, but I guess qualifying was interesting for reasons that were salted. I mean, qualifying must have been quite interesting for this one. Of course, we don't televise qualifying for most of these races, and yes. And you might be wondering, what is Danger 6 doing up here in the fourth row? Honestly, I don't know. You never see Danger 6 run or up here, so that's a first. Well, to be fair, this is a new track. Once again, you know, drivers are not used to this track. Now, that being said, there were a few of these guys that did have practice here yesterday, including Rebecca, I think. Yeah, I believe Rebecca was in yesterday's race. Was it Nia? I don't remember. Anyway, a few of these guys in this race did race in yesterday's Siemens Nash Series race, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can put the practice and put what they learned from yesterday's race into today's race. Now, based on what we saw yesterday, this race is likely going to be quite similar to what we saw yesterday and last week. It's going to be a race of attrition. You're not going to see much passing, but you will see different strategies. Now, of course, you're going to have to come up with a different strategy than you might have had to yesterday, because yesterday's race was, you know, shorter than this one. There's, of course, different race lengths. So, the strategy for this race might be different. You have to make your car last a bit longer. That being said, however, what are the chances of someone making their car last this entire race? Because Andy Logan did that and almost won just yesterday. You know, he didn't pit once and made his car last the whole race. Could we see that from one of these drivers in this race? Or could we see someone make a pit stop? It's going to be interesting. And we're not really going to find out until pit stop cycles begin. Until then, though, let's see what happens in the meantime. So that Cole Custer, Matt DeBenedetto on the front row. Matt DeBenedetto, not really strange to being on the front row, though. Actually, he is. We haven't really seen him up here since, you know, Willow Springs. Meanwhile, Cole Custer, who's been a bit more speedy, although we didn't really see anything from Cole Custer last week, but let's see what happens in today's race. And green flag is in there for the CIMIC 350 at Sandown International Raceway. Cole Custer off with a blistering start. Now here we come into the first corner where things are going to get very hairy. Cole Custer, though, going to lead them off, and Matt DeBenedetto sticks behind, and Rebecca sticking with these guys as well. Quite a few Fords up here. But Cole Custer loading them up, but here we come into this corner here. This corner's been a bit tricky. Cole Custer overdrives and giving the lead to Matt DeBenedetto. And Matt DiBenedetto going to lead the field out of this corner here. Rebecca and Cole Custer are going at it with each other for second now. Rebecca, who's been struggling recently, here she is up here, qualified well. So let's see if she can put that into the race. And Rebecca going to get ahead of Cole Custer. All right. Rebecca, the young driver, trying to keep up with the fast guys. As Matt DiBenedetto looks like he's going to succeed the field and lead the opening lap here at Sandown. And the caution has come out. Lap 1 caution. Alright, well that's something we didn't see in the CIMIC Nationals race. A lap 1 caution. Well, let's see who pits and who doesn't, but that was quite the shakedown for the lead. As the pace car has been a bit of a sausage right now. But anyway, let's now go back a bit and see what actually caused this caution, because I didn't. Yeah, I mean the field was going nuts though, so probably wasn't really much of a surprise that there was a caution. But anyway, let's see what happened. Actually, the pace car just pulled on the pit road, and then immediately lights came on. So I'm not actually sure when or where the caution came out. I think it was here though. Yes. Yeah, it must have been somewhere in this first corner here. I mean, I'm not really surprised. Oh, Brad Keselowski getting into a bit of a mess here. Oh dear, yeah, Keselowski. Oh, looks like he got into it with Eric NROL, and they spun each other out. Oh dear. Let's see that from a different angle. Do we have another angle? Yeah, here we go. So Brad Keselowski. Actually, quite a bit of the field gets bumped up. So we're gonna have to look at this from the helicopter camera. So Keselowski. So actually, there's this accident. It starts up here a bit because you have Kyle Busch who slows up, but then you have Christopher Bell tries to go underneath him, doesn't quite do it, and then Keselowski has to slow down, and Eric NROL doesn't, and these two wind up crashing into each other. Christopher Bell gets a bit into it as well, but the worst of it is the result of Brad Keselowski and Eric NROL, as these two have now broken each other. Wow. Quite a way to start this one. Well, a caution to open up the race. Not something we quite expected to see here at Sandown, but yeah, I don't know. Chances might have been a bit high. I feel like Sean's trying to play with the pace car for some reason. Well, I guess we'll have to stack it back up and try again. Unfortunately, now it's a bit of a bad day for Brad Keselowski and Eric NROL, as those are going to have quite a bit of work to do now. Anyway, let's speed time up a bit. And we'll get to the entrance to pit lane and see who pits and who doesn't. You never know, this could play into events later in the race. Doesn't look like anyone's gonna pit though. I mean, we've only gone one lap though on, racing, so yeah. You might at least see pit stops from Keselowski and NROL, because they're gonna have to fix their damage from the wreck that just happened. Yeah, so nobody pitting except for these two because they wrecked. So Eric NROL and Brad Keselowski have to put on pit road for repairing some damage. Well, in that case, let's line them up. Actually, oh dear, well, that was the race. I do apologize for messing it up a bit. Okay, let's fast forward a bit normally. So I forget, this is a road course, so lights do go out in the middle of the lap. So Eric NROL coming out of his pit box. Looks like he didn't have that much damage. Unfortunately for Brad Keselowski, his race, guess he's going to be off to a very bad start. He's off now, but he's got a broken car, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens once those guys later on. Anyway, let's do a bit more fast forwarding and get to the restart of this race. So it's now on the pace car. So Matt DiBenedetto was able to get out in front of the field and lead the opening lap. Unfortunately, though, his lead was ruined by the caution. I mean, he's still out there in front, but can he stay out there in front? So the field going to be single file this time by on the restart, so we shouldn't have a crash this time. So it's kind of makes sense there was a crash to open up this race because everyone's double file, but now everyone's single file and everyone's more strung out, so should have less of a crash. And green flag is back out in the air at Sandown. Alright, we are back racing. Yeah, like I said, race of attrition, no one making any big moves, although this turn can be a bit treacherous as we've learned a couple of the guys over in the corner, Matt DiBenno and Rebecca, and Matt DiBenno smacks the wall, was going to hand the lead over to Cole Custer. Cole Custer still yet to find victory, but he's been close a couple times. You know, Cole Custer, no slouch. Now he's out in front at Sandown. Eric Jones, however, trying to stay behind him. Quite the actiony start. There's a bit of a battle for Rebecca pulling up her road. Well, that's unfortunate for Rebecca. She actually was off to a bit of a decent start, but nope. Back to the end of the field. Well, that's allowed Cole Custer and Eric Jones to pull a little bit of a gap on the guys behind them. We'll see how they take this corner here. As Cole Custer overruns the corner. That's going to give a spot to Eric Jones. No, it's not. Eric Jones couldn't quite navigate the corner well either, as Oliver completely screws up the corner. But Cole Custer keeps his lead. Yep, race of attrition. You know, Dangerous Hicks up to 4th. You know, Dangerous Hicks, he's been close to winning this race a couple times, but man, he seems to be on fire here. Dangerous Hicks, he must have gone some secret practice here at Sandown, or maybe he's got a bit of a history with Sandown that we don't really know about. Well, we'll see what happens later on. Meanwhile, Cole Custer out front. So, field now just settling in. And Cole Custer runs in the corner again. Oh dear. It seems as Eric Jones tries to get to the back end of Cole Custer. He then throws up on the corner. There's actually allowed Bank Coach to keep up with these guys. Bank Coaches who actually ran pretty well last weekend at Winton, trying to back up that performance and get another good finish today. Oh, did Bank Coach finish good last week? I don't remember. Anyway, Bank Coach, however, running pretty well today to start this race. Feel like they're getting a bit closer together now. Cole Custer, the rookie, staying out in front. This isn't the first time we've seen Cole Custer run up here, you know. If you go back to Homestead, which is a bit of a few weeks ago now. You know, Cole Custer, he was running pretty well. Now he's leading. So Cole Custer running pretty well here at Sandown. Oh, this corner though is a bit treacherous. Cole Custer runs into the wall. Wow, I was just commenting on how well Cole Custer was doing, and then he bends into the wall, loses the lead to Bank Coaches and Eric Jones. Bank Coaches gonna have a spot here, maybe. They're still side by side going to this corner, but Bank Coaches might send it, and yep. Bank Coaches sends it into the corner, and Bank Coaches now into the lead at Sandown. And Cole Custer completely ruined it. Still early in the race, though, he's got a little bit of damage, though. A little bit of clunkiness in his car that might ruin him. Bank Coaches, however, takes the lead for now. Cole Custer stays on track for now, but he's got a late broken car. So we'll see if that affects him in the long run. Meanwhile, bank coaches now leading. So now another YouTube Motorsports driver leads a lap in a race down under, as the Xbox Nerd, he led quite a few laps at Winton, and we thought we were gonna spins the corner again though. Man, that corner is tricky. As Eric Jones trying to get a spot on him. Oh dear, Eric Jones might have the spot on Bank Coaches going to this corner, unless Bank Coaches can send it. That's who's gonna send it to the corner. It's going to be Eric Jones. Actually, Bank Coaches not going to without fun. Ooh, we got to. No, it's still side by side. Bank Coaches gonna lose a bit as Cole Custer now getting back up through the field. Now still able each other. And there goes Eric Jones to the lead. As Bank Coach now falling back down to second. And Eric Jones leads this lap. It's pretty in the race, so you can't really tell who's gonna win. And actually, as these guys begin to wear their tires out, I'm going to be going as fast through this corner here, so it won't be as many chances to mess up. As everyone completely messes up. Literally no one got that corner that time. Some guys mixing through the fence on the tire barrier. Banko's actually got a few spots. Wow, Banko's at the worst of that. Got completely ruined his day. As Dangerous Hicks up in the second, up in the third, trying to take second away from Oliver, but Oliver ultimately going to succeed him for now. But Dangerous Hicks looking really good today. For now. It's still early in the race, so you never really know. Dangerous Hicks, though, he's really no stranger to being up here. I mean, well, he's a bit of a stranger because Dangerous Hicks, well, he was up there. He almost won at Orlando, but that was really it, to be honest. Some guys has a bit of broken race cars actually. Here is Nia up here as well. So Nia's team, Rebecca, who screwed herself over early in the race. So Nia trying to get redemption for the Source Motorsports girls. Right, let's see what happens here. Ooh, Eric Jones didn't take that well, but neither did Oliver, as James 6 completely ruins the corner. We were just talking about how good he was doing today, and he completely ruins it, but so does a bunch of other guys. So, I mean, Now, Eric Jones now out to first, and a bit of a strung out field now, as Oliver now trying to keep up with Eric Jones. And Oliver, he's won a race. Specifically, he won back in race number 3, back at Sonoma. So, Oliver trying to get another road course win. Eric Jones, however, trying to get a win in general, as Eric Jones still yet to win a race. Still yet to win a race in his career. At least in the Cup Series. Top 3 though getting a little bit closer to each other. Meanwhile, they're starting to pull away from everyone behind them. Taking him to this corner here, but he's always a challenge, seems like it. As Oliver tries to get around Eric Jones, but can't quite complete the pass. As Cole Custer is just in the back line, completely messes up the corner. That's a hard corner, it seems, for these drivers. All the top 3 though pretty close to this. Dia now trying to perform an overtake on Oliver. Wow, a bit of a battle between the Source Motorsports guys and gals. Now, a pair of Source Motorsports drivers got each other last weekend at Winton, but now they're actually going for a position. It's a lot more respectable. As Nia now trying to gain a spot on Oliver. We haven't really seen Nia run up here at all this season. This is really the first time that Nia has been in contention to do something, something good. As far as a good finish position. Well, here comes Calamity Corner again. Awesome, Oliver. Ooh, Oliver, a bit of a side by side off lead now as Oliver trying to keep up with Eric Jones. Oh, some argy-bargy here. Quite a bit of stuff going on here. What's going to happen going to this corner? As Nia tries to get around Oliver, but Oliver trying to defend his position for second. I was like, Nia's going to hang back a bit for now. It's a little bit early in the race to be doing anything crazy, though. Tires likely to start falling off by about now. But Eric Jones is about to keep the lead now at Sandown. There's a humongous gap now. Daniel Siggy's actually taking second. His car is pretty broken though, and he's way back. This field's really spread out now at this point. These top three are just in their own world. And they all completely mess up the corner. Well, if they keep them, they're not going to be in their worlds. As Nia now scrubs her way past the other guys as Eric Jones completely ruins that corner. And Nia now side by side with Oliver. And Nia, who has been around for quite a while now, she's still a pretty young driver, but has now quite a few raised up her belt. Or, yeah, under her belt, I mean. And Nia now takes the lead in Sandown. How about that? Still in the race, so you don't really know what's going to happen, but Nia now in the lead at Sandown. How about that indeed? I say that a lot, don't I? Anyway, Nia out of Africa. And the caution's out! Second caution of the day at Sandown. That might ruin any strategy that these guys have. But wow, our second caution of the day at Sandown. You know, to give the guys at the CIMIC Actions credit, they went that whole race without a single caution. Meanwhile, in this race, 2 cautions. Well, that's going to bunch up everyone again. Anyway, let's go back in time and see what brought this caution. See who, what, and where. Okay, looks like lights are on for quite a bit, and then... Okay, so now lights stay off, and now they come on. So who crashed where? No, it could have been that corner, but maybe it was. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where. It must have been here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where the caution came out. I really don't know. It's a bit difficult, a bit tricky to work out. We gotta pause right when lights come on, right? And boom. So what happened? I can't quite make out where this caution came out. I don't see anyone making a 180. And I don't know. It must have been somewhere in this corner here, but I really don't know. Oh. Denny, really? Was that skid from Denny Hamlin really enough to bring out the caution? I don't know. Maybe it was. Kind of weird caution, but I don't know. That's something. That's a first. A mystery caution. What happened? I can't put a finger on it. I don't know. I really don't know what brought that caution. The worst thing I can think of is that slide from Denny Hamlin. Other than that, I just can't work it out. So, if anyone has an idea of what brought that caution, please let me know in the comment section because I have absolutely no clue. I mean, as soon as the lights go out, you check throughout the whole field to see who spun where. But here, I can't work it out. I just don't know. I really don't know who messed up, who spun, who crashed, who did what. Because there was no crashes that I could see. No one, I don't know. I mean, the worst defense that I can think of was Denny Hamlin's skid, and If that brings the rubber the caution, then that's insane. Well, anyways, moving on from that, I guess now we've changed the outcome of the race. Let's see who does what. And it looks like, yeah, everyone in the field now coming down pit road. You understand why. But yeah, absolutely everyone in this entire field coming down pit road. So there isn't any collisions though. Yeah, it doesn't look like any contact is being made. That's good. Yeah, bro's getting in and out. Ooh, Bangkok is coming here. No, he's just coming for real. Never mind. And Nia likely to be the first one off pit road. Yeah. And Nia wins the race off pit road. Alright. So the entirety of the field, every single driver comes on pit road. So drivers might stay out longer than others because of damage, but you know. Well, line them back up again and go for it. It's going to be interesting to see, though, you know, what strategy comes of this. Or what strategy comes of this. Yeah. Quite a packed field. Everyone having to just, you know, line up. Well, it's definitely been quite a race so far. It's got more action in it than the CIMIC Nations race can say. It's not quite the type of action we were really expecting. I mean, we were all expecting this race to be a race, this to be a race of attrition, and I mean, I don't know if that's appropriate now. Because they have crazy stuff going on. Now that everyone's on fresh tires, we're going to see that same crazy thing that we saw in the last restart. Who knows what's going to happen next? Meanwhile, the tail end, Becca now is catching up to the rest of this pack. And we're going to let them lose shortly. Yep, pace car pulls off. Lead leads him off. And green flag is back in the air and Sandown. So Nate on in front, but now she's got her teammate Gridgen to contend with. So Gridgen, Gridgen slows up a bit, or signs up a bit, I mean. Cluster also back up here as well. And Nia ruins the corner, as seen today. Oh, but Nia's still side by side with Gridgen. Gridgen the mother spawn here. Cole Custer as well. A bit of a run on Nia. Oh, but Nia got to tuck in behind Gridgen for now. And for the time being, Gridgen takes the lead at Sandown. Alright, so Gridgen coming around. It's going here, and Gridgen going to lead this lap. Something I didn't quite expect to see today. But Gridgen out in front. Gridgen's been struggling all season. This season's actually been pretty bad. So Gridgen might be playing his own little strategy to try to win this race. Still have quite a ways to go in this race, though, so one time will tell. Gridgen messes up this corner. Because though messes up even worse. That's a hard corner. Gridgen takes the lead, and Eric Jones moves up a couple spots. Just back to fighting for some of these guys. He's got Nia and Eric Jones who were battling with each other before the caution. And now that we're back green flag racing, they're gonna battle some more. Well, now they have Bridget contend with it. Here is Kyle Larson for a second day in a row, or second week in a row. I mean, he's now in contention to win. That's quite something. Bridget, though, has that lead for now. Who once again mess up the corner. As there's a few of these drivers, and Eric Jones actually going to pick up a couple spots here as Griffin completely ruins the corner. And Neil, who would have had the lead there, is going to give up a position anyway to Eric Jones. Wow. So Eric Jones back to lead in Sandown. It's going to be interesting to see what Eric Jones can do from here. And Eric Jones is going to be the leader of this lap. Meanwhile, Neo, who just spotted him in second, is likely going to try to make a pass to the lead. You know, it's insane. Nia, she's ran so many races in her career now. A lot of starts in the Skills Cup Series and the CIMIC National Series. And she's still yet to claim a victory. But here she is, and contending to win, as Eric Jones completely messes up the corner, as does a lot of these guys. Oh my goodness me. And Nia takes the lead back again at Sandown. In that calamity corner. Quite even, and Nia is now actually built up to a bit of a distant lead over a couple of other Star drivers. Bridget now moves back up to the field, and Duck, the Great Western Engine, up here in second as well. But Nia now pulling out to the front. And Nia back to the lead in Sandown. Man, she's been around for quite, well, at least a couple years anyway. And again, still yet to claim a victory in any, she's claimed a victory in a small capacity. You know, she's won a couple of heat races, but she's still yet to win a big race like this. And she completely messes up this corner, but so does everyone behind her. Actually, Doug messes up worst of all, and that's going to give a spot away to a couple guys as Ryan Priest makes his way on by. And so does Gridrin. And Gridrin actually had the lead there for a little bit. Now trying to make his way up through the field. And Ryan Priest. Been a little while since we've not seen Ryan Priest run this well. Actually, that's a lie. Ryan Priest, he won the duel. But, Ryan Priest still yet to win a big race as well. He's been close. He's actually been a bit speedy as of late, as, he ran a number of good laps at Homestead. And then, of course, a couple weeks after that, he went on to win in his duel. And now, a couple weeks after that, here he is in Australia, a long way from home. Although, Ryan Priest, he is another driver that did run in the CIMIC National Series yesterday. He didn't really make any headlines in yesterday's race, but he did at least get some practice. Got to learn this course a bit. So Ryan Priest trying to put that into practice in today's race as Gridget completely messes up the corner, but so does Ryan Priest, and everyone just completely messes up the corner as Gridget now hits the wall, and going to lose a couple spots here as Ryan Priest now gets around Gridget as well, and the race starter is really slow in the background. But as they continue to mess up though, Nia continues to really get a humongous lead on these drivers. Meanwhile, Ryan Priest, he's a bit of under fire from Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer, who also looked pretty good in last week's race. Here he is trying again to win something. Last week some thought, could Clint Boyer win on a road course in Australia? He couldn't quite do it last week, but could he do it this week? Nia, however, up to a big lead as my mouse is playing up again. So yeah, Nia out to a humongous lead on these guys. Ooh, gets to the grass a bit. But gets back onto the tarmac. And then, meanwhile, guys behind of Nia are now messing around. Here's now Ryan Preece in his own little race with Clint Boyer and Bridgen keeping up as well. At least he's trying to. And mind you, we still have quite a bit of a ways to go in this race left. You know, we're not even at the halfway point. We're getting close though. Couple laps, we'll be at the halfway. Well, I guess now we're getting to that point of the race where, you know, this does become a race of attrition. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what happens in pit stops because, well, actually, that's a good question because these guys did pit in the last caution, but will they have to pit again? It's going to be interesting to find out. Will these guys have to pit again? Oh, Ryan Preece messed up this corner completely. Oh man, that's not good for Ryan Preece. He now gives up the spot to Clint Boyer. Gives up a couple spots actually. Clint Boyer and Bridgen gonna make their way on by. And Clint Boyer, for the second race in a row, is running in second position. Clint Boyer is still in the hunt to win a second race. You know, he looked good last week, but doesn't look good this week. Clint Boyer, though, a long way behind Nia. He's up a couple tenths of a second that time, though. That lap. Oh, then again, he was behind some cars. Ooh, Ryan Preece, not the best corner. Oh, Nia actually messed up that corner quite a bit. Let's actually see that again. Cause I didn't expect Nia to mess it up so badly, but Nia messes up this corner. Man, she's lucky she was this far in front. Unfortunately, her lead is not going to be shrunken by quite a bit as Clint Boyer now back to Nia's rear end. Clint Boyer actually got the run or better run off of that corner. And Clint Boyer going to close the gap right up. Yeah. Man, look at how much closer that gap is now. Clint Boyer actually chasing down Nia. Gonna put the pressure on Nia. I mean, that's why Nia been. I mean, you know, Nia, it's amazing. She's been in this many races, yet so few of these races. She's actually been out in front of these races. So I don't know, maybe that pressure's getting to her. Okay, halfway in this race left to go. Well, that means a lot of chances for Nia to mess this up. See, she and Boyer have the same sort of corner that time by. But Nia really can't keep messing up that corner. Bridgen actually catching up to these. Well, I say catching up. He's trying to get there. Clint Boyer, though, not staying too far behind of Nia. Bridgen as well. So we go through this complex of corners. And Nia, once again, overruns the corner. Oh, overruns so bad that Clint Boyer might have the spot here. And Clint Boyer trying to take the lead away from Nia. They're side by side to this corner. Nia, though, he's going to let in. And Clint Boyer now it's the lead at Sandown. So I think we're interesting to see Clint Boyer look this good 2 weeks in a row. Then again, this is the second weekend in a row that we're racing at a road course, which of course happens to be in Australia. Grudgeon, though, not making that much ground on these top two. So Grudgeon might have to pick up the pace a bit if he's gonna keep up with these two. Go to this corner again, and Boyer. Ooh, yeah, once again, yeah. I don't know what's so difficult about that corner, but it seems a lot of these guys just can't quite seem to get it right. You know, when this team was actually, we did see some mistakes in that corner early on, but then after a while, they did get a hang of it. These guys, though, seem to be taking a bit longer to get a hang of that corner. Which, of course, resulted in crashes. And a lot of loss of positions as well. You know, especially up front here, drivers can go from being in contention to take the lead to 5 positions back. Another thing worth mentioning, again, are we gonna have another pit stop, or is this like the race for the win? Or at least the race, the race for the win. I mean, we got 21 laps left in this race, and oh, Boyer, all 3 of these guys hit the wall. Clint Boyer gets the worst of it, and that's gonna give the spot back to Nia and Grudgeon. See what I was talking about? So Grudgeon. Clint Boyer gonna lose a couple spots, and that's gonna give the lead back to Nia. Man, Nia is still looking for that first win. How long until she ultimately claims that victory? Is it going to be today, or is it going to be a little while longer? You know, that would be interesting if she won, because it'd be a foreign driver in a foreign country. I mean, look at this combo. You've got Nia, who's from Africa, racing in Australia in an American racing series, or a series based in America, I should say. It's quite the feat when you think about it. Like I said, African driver, Australian race, American-based racing series. It's quite the bucket of, several countries coming together for this victory. Well, that victory, if the victory happens, if Nia can, not screw this up in the next 20 laps. But yeah, it has to be said, they've still got a bit of ways to go. Ooh. Kyle Larson just came off pit road. Larson was up here for a bit. Not anymore, it seems. Man, this corner is so difficult, it seems. Yeah, though, she at least gets it this time. Oh, Boyer almost stepped out there. That could have been a close call. Meanwhile, we might see developing out for a second between Grudgeon and Clint Boyer. By the way, can I just say, we've got Soul Smooth Sports running 1-2. Soul Smooth Sports, they they haven't been the best team this season. I mean, they won more races than last season, but you know, how many more races can they win? Ooh, some more guys on pit road. This could be interesting. As Nia about to approach to the back end of the real Xbox Nerd. Well, you know, I did say we're gonna have to see some drivers pitting. I mean, so far we're just seeing backmarkers pit. I don't know what that means for the leaders, though. But some lap traffic now for the lead cars to deal with. We've got Nia now behind the real Xbox Nerd. And the real Xbox Nerd looked good last week at Winton, not so good this week. He's back in 37th. It's 9-day performance now. Nia, however, she's now in the lead, trying to score a win. But those darn lapped cars are holding her up. That's causing her teammate Grid to keep up. Grid, you know, he's won here and there, but not this season. Grid, like I said, he's had an atrocious season, so another guy looking for his first win. Oh dear, Nia, ooh, gets a bit into the big turn away, which allows a bit of a battle, exchange for position now for second, as Clint Boyer now takes the lead away from Gridrin, as these two continue to battle with each other. Gridrin's gonna give up the spot though. But the real Xbox are really not making things any better for these guys. So Nia happens to be out in first. Oh, Gridrin. Ooh, what's up with Gridrin? He took a wide line through there. Is that Clint Boyer? It is Clint Boyer going down pit road. Not sure what pit strategy he's on, but we're going to find out later. Man, this race is all over the place. Gridrin now has actually lost a couple seconds on Nia, as Nia is still trying to find a way around the real Xbox Nerd. Oh, she's not going to try... Oh, no, can't quite do it this time. How long until that pass is made? Well, let's see. So these top two... This guy back is Douglas, Donald, I mean. So it's more sports guys in 1, 2, 3. I was actually thinking to myself the other day, when are we going to see So More Sports with a 1, 2, 3 finish? Well, we're still in the race, so no one really knows. Really, I can't really predict the outcome of what's going to happen. You know, is Nia going to hold off, or are we going to see another challenger for first? Because Gridrin, he's on the same strategy as Nia, so unless he can get around Nia, you know, this is Nia's race to lose. Yeah. Oh, I think it's going down. Yep. Here comes Nia on pit road. Gridrin stays out. Well, this will be interesting. So this is just like that point in the CIMIC activities yesterday. Strategy. Who's gonna do what and where? Man, this feels pretty spread out. I say that, Gridgen's a long way on front now. For now. Could Gridgen, though, become, you know, the Anthony Logan of this race and hold on for as long as possible to make it to the end? Or does he pit? Stays out this time. As the field shuffles around, Kevin Harvick is actually being scored for second now, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in third, Nia... Oh. No, what the heck? Is that skidding of the tires? Of course we gotta catch that, as Chase Elliott, bit of a scare. Skids the tires for a bit. Keeps out of the wall, though. Not sure if that's gonna be a caution or not. Man, that corner, though, has been really troublesome. Gridgen, though, now with 8.7 seconds ahead of Kevin Harvick. So how long until Gridgen pits? Stays out this time. Yep, the caution's out. I think I know the reason why. But this changes everything again. Deary, deary me. Caution is out again at Sandown. Third caution of the day. That is going to completely change the outcome of this race. Any strategy that there was is now ruined by this caution. Wow. That's going to mess up Nia. Well, maybe not. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's see what happened to bring out that caution. I think I know what. But let's check to be sure. Maybe it was something completely different than Chase Elliott's skid on that Calamity corner. And the caution was out for quite a bit. Okay, caution comes out now. So if I had to guess, I think it was Chase Elliott, but it could be... Wow. Yeah, I think that was it. So Chase Elliott's skidding here is what brought this caution. Man, NROL officials have gone soft. Wow. Wow, indeed. Well, so any strategy, like I said, that there was, is now completely lopsided. At this point, this race is now who's going to be in front, who's going to be where. It's just like, well, man, it's quite the turn of events here at Sandown. Dear, oh dear. Ugh. Well then, what happens now? This field now having to line up once again. And I think the most interesting part is going to see how many takers down Bear Road. How many takers indeed. Well, it's been quite the race so far. And we still have over 10 laps to go. Well, ultimately we're going to see who's where once the restart happens. Hmm. Let's fast forward a little bit more. Alright, so we get to the end of... some drivers staying in, some drivers coming in, some drivers staying out. No, never mind. No, yep, oh my. Yep, very mixed strategies, it seems. Well. Yeah, mix of strategy. Although, I think those who stayed out on the last, or those who are staying out are the ones that pitted before. So here's Nia. Well, I know it's gonna be quite. Yeah. So varying strategies are now taking place. At this point, it could be a lottery who wins this race now. And we have 10 laps to decide, but well, you never know what could happen in those 10 laps. So I think this time we're going to watch the field go by to see who is where as far as where they're going to be on the restart. Yeah, quite the interesting lineup. So the drivers that stayed out, the drivers that went in. Quite a few varying strategies in this race. I say varying strategies. I think everyone must have been on at least a similar strategy. When the coach came on and completely threw everything off. Well, there you go. That's your lineup. So Bank Coaches is actually going to be on the point. But keep in mind, Bank Coaches, and actually the top the top starters actually includes Nia, I think. Nah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So Bank Coaches currently out here, but Bank Coach is not actually racing for the lead position. I don't know who's where. We're going to find out. As the pace car goes in, let's see what happens from here. And green flag is back in the air at Sandown. I really don't know who's where. We're going to see. Score hasn't ticked up or hasn't updated. And Nia is now in first. Alright, here it is. Nia out in front at Sandown. This could be the race for the win, although he's under attack from Donald. As Nia trying to get around some slower cars. So now these guys, the leaders, they have a couple slow cars to deal with. That big Brad Kozlowski person at Bank Coaches. So Nia, she's trying to go for her first career win, but man, she's got all those lap cars to contend with. And not only that, but she has to try to get around, that treacherous corner. So Nia now having to make her way around a few lapped cars who happen to start ahead of her on the restart. So let's see how long it takes for Nia to get around these slower cars. Or these lap cars, to say. I'm not sure how fast or slow they are, but we're going to see. Either way, let's see what Nia can eventually do. Looks like he's going to try to get a run on Brad Keselowski to start with. Who's going to have a bit of a draft. Looks like he's going to go for the overtake into the first corner. No. Not quite there. Yeah, this could be big for Nia. I don't want to overhype it though. She, another thing, she could always mess up this corner here. She makes it through once again, although Donald, her teammate, not giving up either. Exalt pretty close to the back end of Nia. And then you've got the lap traffic to deal with. Man, Nia, she's got so much to deal with though. This is the closest that Nia has ever been to winning a race. And she's got all of this pressure to contend with now. For one thing, she's got some slower cars to deal with in front of her. And she's got cars behind her. So Nia, she's gonna have to have the best performance of her life if she wants to win this race. It seems she's not too bad around the rest of this track. It's just that one corner that drivers often overshoot is the real tricky corner here. Here we go through it again. Looks like actually the cars in front of Nia are messing up, and Percy messes up the corner. That's going to be a free spot, or at least a free car for Nia. She now only has 2 cars to contend with, and she's getting a bit of a gap on her teammate Donald. Actually, quite the gap. Look at that. Nia's starting to pull away from the field, but she still has 2 more lap cars to get around. A Brad Keselowski and Bang Coaches. Man. Yep, Nia has quite a bit to contend with in these last laps. Ooh, I have no idea. Nia, she's got a decent gap now. 0.3 of a second over Donald. But like I said, still have these lap cars to contend with. You know, her best bet is actually, oh no, Donald quite a bit gap. Put a good of a gap behind Nia, actually. As Bang Coach is going to mess up the corner. That's going to be another car for Nia that she doesn't have to deal with as Bang Coach is now mess up the corner. And so does Donald, who massively messed up the corner. Donald, who was running second, he completely bogs up the corner, which allowed Clint Boyer and Tim Tom to get around. Bang Coach is as well, still a lap car. Tim Tom is actually putting his wheels into the grass. And now just one more car that Nia has to deal with, the Brad Keselowski. So Nia, she has a decent gap now on Clint Boyer. Man. It's also been quite a while since the last time a female won here in the Skills Cup Series. Last time was Frona Tobomban way back in the early 2010s. So Nia, she's got quite a lot to deal with in these last laps. Although she has a pretty decent gap on the guys behind her now. Clint Boyer almost 2 seconds back that time. Here goes this corner here. Brad Keselowski looks like he's going to make it to the corner. And Brad Keselowski messed up the corner completely. That's the last car that Nia has to deal with. And Nia is now setting sail as the guys behind her as well continue to mess up. Brad Keselowski messed up that corner. And here comes Tim Tom. Now in second place. Tim Tom, another Soul Sports driver who's on... he's had a much worse season than Nia. So Tim Tom hasn't won in a while. But Nia trying to get her first career win. But she has quite a lot to deal with still. So Nia, she's got no more lap cars to deal with. Nobody in front of her now left to deal with. She just now has to hold her position in first. So Nia, she may have a big lead now. So she may have a little bit of room for error. But when you're in this position, you can't make any mistakes. So Nia, she has a 3-second gap on Tim Tom, her own teammate. But that's another thing, though. If the guys behind Nia, if they mess up, then that's gonna give Nia even more positions, or more ground. Here you show through this corner. Oh, she messes us up completely. Nia into the grass. She hits the wall. Completely messes up this corner. That is not what she needed at all. All that ground she had on Tim Tom has now been shrunk as Nia completely messed up that corner. You cannot do that late in the race. That is the last thing you want to do, as Brad Keselowski, though, in a bit of a battle with Tim Tom. Although Brad Keselowski, remember, is a lapped down car. So, oddly enough, if Brad Keselowski can somehow get past Nia, it doesn't really matter, because Keselowski's lapped down car. What Nia has to worry about on his own teammate of Tim Tom. You've also got Clint Boyer up here as well, trying to do everything they can to keep up with the leader of Nia. However, she gets it through this corner here. And Nia doing everything in her power to keep that lead position. 4 laps to go. Out of every race that Nia has ran in her career, this is possibly the most stressful she's ever ran. Nia has been racing for a year now. You know, Nia's still a pretty young driver. She was a rookie last year in the Skittles Cup Series. Also ran part-time in the CIMIC actually this year, or last year and this year as well. So Nia, she's got some experience. She's just never been able to put it into practice until today. Tim Tom, though, and the others, as Clint Boyer, actually, yeah, Clint Boyer's getting around Brad Keselowski, so a bit of a bout here between these two. May have got a car race for position versus a car that is a lap down. Tim Tom, though, Tim Tom is hungry. Tim Tom, another driver who hasn't won a race this season. And Tim Tom now trying to chase down his own teammate. Man, so was Motorsports. Didn't really expect these guys to be going at it today. The gap has shrunken. It's less than a second now. 3 laps to go. Can Nia hang on? That being said, however, Tim Tom, he's in just as bad of a position. Tim Tom hasn't won a race in over a year. Tim Tom trying to visit victory lane. And Tim Tom messed up the corner, but so does Nia. The two take the corner in the same fashion, so Nia keeps her position. But man, Nia, she has to not mess this up. She's got 2.5 laps left to go. The rest of the track, easy peasy, really no issues. It's just a matter of just navigating the corners in the best way possible. But that one calamity corner, that's the corner that could make the difference. But Nia, however, in the best position. But Tim Tom is catching up. Tim Tom trying to catch up to Nia. Oh man. The Fat Controller, I can only imagine what the Fat Controller is thinking about this one. I mean, you've got the Fat Controller. 2 of his drivers are now racing each other for the win. 2 laps to go in Sandown. Tim Tom trying to catch up to Nia. And the gap closed again. 0.2 of a second. Tim Tom was able to gain on Nia that lap. So Nia now having to hold off her own teammate in Tim Tom for this race. Here we go through Calamity Corner once again. What's going to happen here? Nia gets the corner, and she completely messes up the corner. Oh, no. Tim Tom takes the lead away from Nia. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Nia completely messed up the corner. Nia under pressure. Wow. The pressure got to Nia, and she could not navigate Calamity Corner. And Tim Tom, her own teammate, now trying to score his first win in over a year. Tim Tom, who has had an absolutely atrocious season. Tim Tom trying to get his first win of the season in Australia. And here we go. White flag, 1 more lap to go at Sandown. In quite the finish, Nia, she had it and she lost it. And it looks like he's going to lose to her own teammate of Tim Tom. Deary me. Tim Tom now has a 4-second gap on Clint Boyer. As long as Tim Tom can complete Calamity Corner successfully, Tim Tom has it made. Here he goes through this corner one more time. And he runs wide, but not quite that wide. And Tim Tom is successfully able to complete Calamity Corner. You know, Nia, she's a young driver, whereas Tim Tom, he's got that veteran experience. Tim Tom has been on this sport for a long time. He knows what pressure is and he knows how to deal with it. But Nia, though, with the lack of experience, she just could not stand it. Wow. And with that, Percy Serp, you know, Tim Tom's best friend, he's won a race season. And Tim Tom, who hasn't won a race in quite a while, the #1 blue tank engine from the island of Sowas is gonna go back to victory lane in Australia. And over the final corner, Tim Tom, who overpowers his own teammate of Nia, will win the, I forget the name of this race, 350 at Sandown. CIMIC 350, that's what it was. The CIMIC 350 at Sandown. Wow. Man, what a dramatic end to the race that was. I can't believe it. Nia was in prime position to get her first career win, and she blew it with 2 laps to go. Man. Nia, the young driver out of Africa, still comes home with a good finish today. But it could have been a win. But not today. As Tim Tom goes back to victory lane for the first time in over a season. And it comes in Australia. At Sandown. You know, we all thought it was going to be a race of attrition. And I mean, it still kind of was. But we didn't quite expect this race to be as dramatic as it got. You know, yesterday's race in the CIMIC Nationals was pretty dramatic. But this race, you know, yesterday's race came down to who had the better tires. Who had the better tires coming to the end of the race. Today's race, however, had to do with who could hold on for longer. And Nia, who still comes home with a respectable third place. But that is gonna haunt Nia for a long time. You know, unless she can somehow win next week, but that is gonna haunt Nia for quite a while. Just to think, that could have been a win. But nope, not today. Well, looks like Nia's first win. We're going to have to wait a little while longer for that to come. But Tim Tom, her teammate, comes home with the win. And Clint Boyer as well comes home with a second place. So Clint Boyer, who looked pretty good last week but couldn't quite seal the deal, he comes close to the deal, at least this time, coming home a second in here at Sandown. And Nia could have been a win, but still a respectable third place for Nia. Meanwhile, you have Donald coming with fourth, and Bubba Wallace with a fifth place. Pretty good day for him, with William Brown coming with sixth. Douglas seventh, Russell David in eighth. A top 10 for him. That's going to be good for Russell David. We'll see how he runs up with points from that one. Martin Sr. comes up with ninth, Carlos in 10th, Ryan Priest 11th, Martin Sr. 9th, Carlos in 10th, Ryan Priest 11th, Kurt Busch 12th, Chase Elliott 13th, the Big Sponsor 14th, Tyler Reddick 15th, Gridrin 16th, Joey Logano 17th, Ryan Blaney 18th, Jimmy Johnson 19th, Cole Custer 20th, Doug 21st, Ryan Mid 22nd, Ford DeBalbin 23rd, Ricky Stills Jr. 24th, Austin Dillon 25th, Danny Hamlin 26th, Kevin Harvick 27th, Chris Bell 28th, Alex Boone 29th, Matt DiBenedetto 30th, Chris Busch 31st, Eric Jones 32nd, Rebecca 33rd, Kyle Busch 34th, Oliver 35th, James 6 36th, Brad Gonzalez 37th, Ben Cooks 38th, Prism 39th, and Eric Gunroller rounds on the field in 40th. Man, that was something. I didn't think this race was going to be that intensive at the end. I mean, what could have been. But what said will be for Tim Tom. On that note, that's going to be the second, another win by a Source Motorsports driver in the season. This time it comes from Tim Tom in Australia, of all places. On a road course, of course. But, next week, of course, we're going to be still in Australia, but on a more conventional track like I've been saying, so I will see you then. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next. Oh, and just to think, I just realized, Matthew Brown, he won yesterday's race in a blue car. Today, Tim Tom wins in a blue car. Coincidence? I don't know.